Welcome once again, and thanks for joining us to learn more about JDE. This video reveals how the guide IoT Complete Reference covers all the ways that JDE EnterpriseOne can integrate with other systems to exchange data. Let's say we have two companies. One is using JDE and the other is using some other system. What are the methods we can use to move from one system to the other? The first method is Z-tables and EDI, which uses flat files in ODBC or JDBC. There's a UBE in JDE which can consume the data and place it in the Z-tables and then insert the data into the JDE database. Also, there are some EDIs that can give data out to the customer. Next, we have Rte Real-Time Events. Real-time events is a pretty good option for outbound. Let's say we're creating an address book record. A business function creates an XML file, which in turn goes to a JMS, which can be consumed by any third party. Next we have BSSV. BSSV is a web service which is based on Java. So if you know Java and know how to develop a web service, then you can consume or share data using this solution. There are also some portal solutions which we can use for multiple ERP data in one particular page. You can also get data directly from the JDE database using JDBC connection. That is what DAD is about. And finally, we'll be discussing the modern integration techniques of AIS. Let's talk about the Z-tables. This is the JDE component, and there are 173 Z files and 140 EDI tables in the EnterpriseOne system. You can supply any data in a flat file. The Z files or EDI processing is converting the data that you are giving in the file, and when the UBE processes it, the data can be inserted into JDE, or conversely the data can be converted from JDE to the flat file and given to any system. It is not only a flat file, the data can be given in a JDBC Java connection or also in an ODBC connection. So this is how we can obtain data or provide data. Next, the overview talks about RTE. So whenever a transaction occurs in the web server, the logic is processed in the enterprise server. So when the business function is being processed, it will insert data in table F90710, Event Transfer Table. The transaction server keeps pulling data from the F90710 table and creates XML output and places it in the JMS queue. Therefore, any third party that knows how to connect to the JMS queue will be able to get what was inserted into the database. This is used primarily for outbound data. Next, BSSV. It has a provider scenario and a consumer scenario. In the provider scenario, an external BSSV server is reaching your BSSV and running your business function on the enterprise server, which in turn goes to your database and retrieves the data to share with a third party. In the consumer scenario, from our EnterpriseOne, we are going to the BSSV server. The BSSV server runs a business function on the enterprise server, which can connect to the third-party data, meaning it is consuming the data from the outside world. So the data is inbound to our JDE system. Last but not least is AIS. Let's say we are entering a sales order. I have the order in my hand and I enter it in the HTML server. AIS works the same. We are not using any business functions, events, or any Z-tables or EDI. We are just doing the manual process as an automated process with AIS. This method can be used by mobile, ADF, a Java application, or even IoT devices. A mobile device can get the data from your system through AIS server and execute whatever it's running through the HTML server, retrieve the data from the database, run whatever was requested on the enterprise server, and return the data to the mobile device. Then the guide goes on to explain all these services. For example, form service request, or batch form service if you want to run a UBE, or if you want to get a notification, we can use notification service. All these services are covered in the next video pertaining to the rest of the guide. So there you have it. This video has covered the overview of E1 integration in the IoT Complete Reference Guide. This is the first of two videos on this very comprehensive guide that covers all facets of how JDE can share or consume data with other systems, whether inside or outside the enterprise. This is a must-have guide for all organizations that will save you hundreds of hours of work. Your competition will be buying this guide. Make sure you have one too. That's all for now. Bye-bye.